Okay, let's just. I'm about to mess your world up. That okay? The plans changed about a week ago. I sat down with Sarah, D, and Derek. I was like, this is what we're doing, or what I want to do. And they were like, okay. So I'm about to just start off and mess your world up. I'm about to put something on the screen that is more polarizing than Trump Biden 2020. Y'all ready for it? Put up there, Allie. We ready? I love it. But last minute, we got some people that are like, yeah. Some people are like, no. People will fight you and cuss you out over if Tom Brady is the GOAT or not the GOAT. And by GOAT, the greatest of all time for all my people that don't watch sports. I feel sorry for you in this season if you don't. Matter of fact, I feel sorry for me. No sports. The GOAT, man, everybody will fight you. He's the best or he's not the best. Here's the thing. If by GOAT you mean that Tom Brady is the most dynamic quarterback of all time, I don't agree with that. It's not true. It's not true. But if by GOAT you mean that Tom Brady is the most efficient quarterback of all time, I can get on board with that a little bit better. Straight up, there are way more dynamic quarterbacks than Tom Brady, with way less Super Bowl rings than Tom Brady. I'm telling you, I was a hater for a long time, but I've grown to respect this about him, regardless of his character. That's another thing. Tom Brady he is not known for a strong arm. The guy is not known for his deep ball. He is not a home run hitting quarterback, so to speak. He is not a dual threat that has the athleticism and escapability to get out of the pocket and make a no play into a big play. That is not who Tom Brady is. Yet, Tom Brady has maybe the most successful NFL career of all time. And the reason that is because he found where he fit. That's my title today. Find where you fit. I got no hashtags. If you hadn't shared the video, please do. A lot of people have no idea why they're frustrated and can't find satisfaction and don't even know how to begin to find where they fit. One-liner, share the video, find where you fit. Tom Brady found a system, a team that allowed him to be who he is and not be who he isn't. And Tom Brady is an example, one example of what a person can do when they find where they fit and are true to it and focus on it. And don't pretend to be something else and put the effort in other places. The principles I'm about to preach to you today change not just the trajectory of my life, but my peace and confidence. And I want it to do the same for you. It has it if you will let it. If you will let it. See, we live in a culture that rushes us to find where we fit. We are rushed. Example, you graduate high school, graduate college, and there is pressure. Your next step is getting married. Oh, especially in church. Church is real bad about that. You wonder why there's so many people that marry the wrong person and have to do it all over again. Because you were pressured into, you haven't even discovered yourself and you're doing life with somebody else. We rush young people. You need to graduate high school. You're 18. You need to find what you want to do and you need to get a degree in it. How wise is that? Get a degree, go into debt, and you don't even know for sure what you want to do with your life yet. We get stuck because of that. Life and the promise of God and everything, it is not about playing your part. Life is about playing your part the way you're called to play it. A couple months ago, Luke Ozier, my childhood lifelong friend, Mark and Luke, his brother got baptized a couple weeks ago. Luke, I come off the stage, I'm coming up, Luke tells me, he says, Ben, I do not know how you do what you do, and I could never do it. I looked at Luke, and I point blank said, you're not supposed to. Luke is one of the most thoughtful people I have ever known in my life. When we were in middle school and he would come to my house, Luke would cut flowers from his mama's garden and bring them to my mama. Luke, in this summer, Luke left the 9:30 event, went home and baked a cake and brought it to lunch when we got home and had lunch with us and our family. Luke is one of the most creative, generous gift givers and thoughtful people to let you know you're loved. If you get a gift from me, it's a gift card, and be grateful, because that's not who I am. If I buy you lunch, people think words are cheap, but that's who I am. The people that think words are cheap is because you're not good at it. Luke fits. Luke fits differently, but he fits. My brother, this is like biology, man. Genes, same blood. My brother would hate his life doing what I do. I'm not talking about just this on Sundays. I'm talking about week after week he hated his life. Hey, people, I'm not called to fit in my brother's dreams either. Brock fits. Luke fits. You fit. But you fit differently. And today I want to show you that you fit, and I want to help you find where you fit, because so many of us spend so many times trying to force where we fit in every area of our life, and we wonder why we're frustrated, why we have no confidence, why we're fatigued, why people drain us, and a lot of us have lost hope in finding it, fulfillment and satisfaction. Find where you fit. That's the only way to do it. John the Baptist was a forerunner of Jesus. In the Old Testament, there was a prophecy that there would be a man that would prepare the way for Jesus, that would speak and proclaim that he's coming. John was that man. John was weird. I'm going to tell you straight up, weird. He was a good man. He was weird, and he gives me confidence because I understand him. He was weird. But John the Baptist did more in his 30-ish plus years of life than most people will ever do in their entire life, because he found where he fit. And I'm going to show you he was comfortable in it. And people hated it, but he lived all of the years that he got to. I want to take you to Matthew chapter 3, and we're going to read several verses throughout this message, and I want you to picture John the Baptist, a mountain man version of Derek Harper. Y'all ready? He's got the beard for it and everything. You ready? Matter of fact, can y'all tell him he needs to shave that stuff from time to time? It's nasty and it intimidates me because I'm jealous. Took me like 3 weeks. I actually shaved all my beard off, and I look like a kid up here for 3 weeks. Nah. I ain't going there. Let's get to the message. ADD. Matthew chapter 3. Y'all ready for this? Oh my goodness. I got something, man. I got something. John's clothes were made of camel's hair, and he had a leather belt around his waist. Before I read that next line, y'all know that picky eaters annoy me worse than anything, right? Matter of fact, I got some people, picky eaters are annoying to you. Can I get some amens? Matter of fact, for my picky eaters out there, just so you don't feel bad, can you admit to me right now you are annoying? There's like 2 things in the whole world I won't eat and don't make me happy. Picky eaters make me angry. John the Baptist is the one person that was worse than a picky eater. He was a gross eater. I would never want to eat lunch with him because I would throw up. Here it is. His food was locust and wild honey. Joker lived in the desert, ate bugs and honey. Oh, man. People went out to hear him, but this is crazy. He knew who he was. He knew his role. People went out to him from Jerusalem and all Judea and the whole region of Jordan. Confessing their sins, they were baptized by him in the Jordan. Let me tell you, John the Baptist found where he fit. People, listen, this man, people would leave their cities in that region to come to hear this man, to be baptized by him. They trusted him. They gravitated towards him. And it wasn't because of his education. It wasn't because of his qualifications. It dang sure wasn't because he followed the rules of appropriateness and goodness, because he didn't. Matter of fact, don't y'all love that about Catalyst? We don't and we won't. This man drew crowds because they trusted him, because he found where he fit and he was comfortable in it. Man, and we're going to see what it looked like later. He was comfortable in it, man. They trusted John the Baptist because here it is. There is something attractive in a person who is comfortable with who they are even when others aren't. I want you to hear me. I'm going to say it again. There's a couple things that aren't in your notes. By the way, if you ever want the sermon notes and guidelines, they're on our app, our church app, and they're always there, and there's some things that aren't in it. So if you're taking notes and want to grow, here it is. There is something attractive. You want to get noticed? There's something attractive about naturally being comfortable with who you are even when other people aren't. Took me years to realize this. I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm an old soul. I don't have enough time in this message to tell you all the childhood stories to prove it. I'm an old soul. It's the reason that our church, Derek and I are young lead pastors. And it's the reason our church isn't filled with a bunch of people 10 years older and 10 years younger. I'm an old soul. I'm okay with it. Derek will always be the cooler pastor. Always. You want to know the cooler pastor? It's Derek. Your kids will like, all of them will like Derek more than me. My kids like Derek more than me. It is what it is. I'm an old soul. It's who I am. It's how I was built. This whole hip pastor thing, man, it's all over the country right now. I mean, literally, pastors dress more like pop stars than pop stars. There's some outfits I'm like, wow. It's cool for them. I will not, whoever said that's probably my age or older. Listen to me. I can't be a hip pastor. I'm not hip. I'm Ben. And if you know Ben, you know I'm not hip. I dress how I want to dress. And people that make fun of me for my shoes and how I don't care. I dress how I want to dress, and the only opinion that matters to me is Angie's. And when I ask for her input, she gets annoyed. And then she's like, that shirt didn't look great. I was like, I asked you. You will only be asked about my attire if I love you a lot and I officiate your wedding. And that's because Angie says, you probably want to have matching colors. Derek's picked on me a lot. I pronounce the book of Philippians how I want to pronounce the book of Philippians, even if I do it that way. I got the mic. It's too much effort to take that M out that I got used to. I preach how I want to preach. I walk this stage as fast or slow any given Sunday, any 5 minutes, the way I want to walk the stage. Matter of fact, give my camera people some love right now. I'm telling you, do you notice the young people? We got a football player, bicep. Is that? Yeah, we got biceps, and that joker's a 9th grader. Their major workouts here. I'm sorry, y'all, but this is me. I made B's in preaching class. Not just one, all of them. Bible college, bachelor's, grad school, seminary, B's. You know how bad it feels to get a B in what you're majoring in? It bothered me. I won't even tell you the comments they told me. B's. But this is who I am. This is me. This is me. And John the Baptist was him. This is me. Here's my first point. Actually, I got two. They're really steps. This one will make everything else come easy in your life. You ready? You ready? Here it is. It's on your sermon notes. This one's on the app. You won't find where you fit until you are fine with who you are. Let me tell you something. You won't find, I don't care if you're 70 or 7. You won't find where you fit until you are fine with who you are. The reason they trusted John the Baptist is because he was who he was. They left all the educated PhD religious pastors, religious leaders, their institutions that thought they had. They left them to come to a person that was comfortable in who he was. They were hungry for it. They were hungry for it. I want you to write this down. If you want to grow, write this down, because this hit me yesterday, which means it's probably actually something that makes a little sense. You inspire trust in others and build confidence and security in yourself when you are comfortable and consistent in who you are. You inspire trust in others and will build confidence and security in yourself when you are comfortable and consistent in who you are. They trusted John the Baptist because this man knew who he was. He didn't care what anybody thought. If you become okay with who you are, the rest of your life is going to come a lot easier. I'm not done yet. Y'all ready for more? Oh, I'm just getting started. Look at somebody right now and say, here come the haters. Man, I just thought I had haters when I was pitiful. Man, I just thought I had haters when I was a codependent person that tried to fix everybody. I just thought I had haters when I was more of a doormat than a pastor or even person. I just thought I had haters then. Oh, and it was the same for John the Baptist. John chapter 1, this is John's testimony of it. It says, this was John's testimony when the Jewish leaders sent priests and temple assistants from Jerusalem to ask John, who are you? All these people that John took their crowds, they were starting to get threatened and pissed off. They sent their assistants. Who is this guy that's taking our crowds? Who does he think he is? Who does he think he is? People went out from Jerusalem. Oh, excuse me, I'm on the wrong verse. Here we go. Y'all ready? Who are you? He came right out and said, I'm not the Messiah. Then who are you? They asked. Are you Elijah? Now, Maddie, you hear him all the time. No, he replied. Are you the prophet we are expecting? No. Then who are you? We need an answer. Man, people are always trying to pressure you. What are you trying to do? What are your motives? Who are you? You got to get it. We need an answer for those who sent us because there's some haters that sent them. What do you have to say about yourself? John replied in the words of the prophet Isaiah. He said something very simple, because there's no reason to overcomplicate who you are so people can take your words out of context. Because if you give them too much information, they're going to twist it. Get ready. I get it twisted all the time. You don't even know. So I might say up here, I'm like, I didn't say that. You didn't. No, I didn't. I'm a voice. I'm a voice shouting in the wilderness, clear the way, for the Lord's coming. Let me tell you, they did to John what people do to you each and every day since you came out of your mother's womb. They wanted him to second guess himself, because if he second guesses himself, other people will second guess him. And life and circumstances and people and the culture that tries to rush you to force things that don't fit in your life. That's what happens. When you start second guessing yourself, other people are going to second guess you. And by the time you're like 10 years in, nobody's going to believe in you because you don't believe in you. And I want you to see how John the Baptist handled this, because this is the natural flow of finding where you fit. This is how he did it. He answered the question simply. No, it's not who I am. No. Oh, and by the way, I'm not Jesus either. And he says simply, I'm a voice. This is my role. This is my fit. This is what I'm called to do. I'm a voice in the wilderness. They came to me, y'all. I'm out here. I'm in the wilderness. They came to me, and I'm just telling them my heart and the way I was called to say it. They second. Two things. I'm going to focus on the second one for the rest of the message because I don't have time for anything else. Number one, the reason that all of us are haters, all of us, nobody is excluded, is because it's hard to look at somebody who has found where they fit when you haven't. Oh, it's hard. But two, this is the thing. They tried to have him question himself. They tried to pressure him to change. And we live in a culture, and we live in a country, we live in a world, we live in churches. We have people in our lives that want to pressure us where we fit. And the worst mistake you can make is let other people in our culture and popularity try to pressure you to be to tell you where you fit. Man, I'm telling you, it's what we do. And what'll happen, they tell you, this is what you're supposed to be. This is how you're supposed to do it. This is where you're supposed to go. This is who you're supposed to do it with. This. And our culture and our people and our families rush us. And there are things in life that are never going to work out well if they're rushed. We tell people, we rush them, and we cause people, and all of us have done it. We have been forced to fit in places, in with people, take opportunities. We've been forced to fit in places in our life, people that we were never called to fit. We have forced something, which is why we're frustrated. Let me give you an example. Man, there's some great women out there. Great women. Tell people all the time, like, you got a good wife. I tell the woman, I was like, you're a good wife. Well, you're good. You are good. You are a good wife. You are a good woman. But you are a good wife. You wouldn't be a good wife to me. I don't tell them that, but that I don't have to, because that's unnecessary. You're a good wife. Man, you're a good wife. If I would have been dumb enough to find you young and not know who I was and not be comfortable with me, we could have gotten married. It would have been disastrous. Thank God no girl looked at me when I was that young. You're good. Listen, you are good. You're not. Somebody would die if you were married to me, but you're a good woman. Or somebody, because you couldn't put up with me and I couldn't put up with you, and that's okay, because there are things that are good but aren't good for you. But when you pressure, what you do is you make bad moves, you make premature moves, and you end up becoming something you're not, marrying somebody you're not supposed to, and fitting in places you were never supposed to fit, because you let the pressure of our culture, pressure of people, pressure of loved ones and family pressure you into being something you're not. John the Baptist cut it. He ended the conversation before he got confused. No, this is not who I am. No, this is not who I am. Yes, here's what I am. Crowds, let's keep going. But the pressure has caused us to make decisions and be things we're not, and we're rushed. We're rushed. I was so happy. Connor and Allie, my oldest son, and our beautiful daughter-in-law that we love so very much, Connor and Allie asked me and Angie to do premarital counseling. It just made me so happy that, you ask your parents. I mean, it's awkward, but they wanted premarriage counseling from us. And so it's out there, and my older ones, Jacob, if you're online, that made me happy. Manipulation made me happy. One of the sessions with Connor and Allie, we told them there are some things that you are going to appreciate and respect about us and the way we do things. And I said, Allie, even with your parents, the same. There are some things you are going to appreciate and respect, but you are not called to replicate. I said, there's going to be some things that you benefit from and are a blessing to you, but you are not called to build it with your life. Big family, man. We got a big family. And now that them jokers got to pay their own bills, they see the work that goes into a big family. Let's not even talk about the grocery bill. The work. Oh, man, they may love a big family, but I'm telling you, that doesn't mean Connor and Allie are supposed to do the same thing or run their house the same way. And we told them, you find what's good for y'all and don't apologize for it. You find it. Because couples that don't end up divorced or hating each other and married 70 years and still hate each other. We told them, don't apologize. Fulfillment is never found by trying to fit in places that you were never supposed to fit. Man, I got 3 kids, okay? I got 4 kids. I did that last event. 4 kids. 3 of them love the small moments. They're homebodies, man. And their significant others right now are the same way, which is beautiful. We can sit the small moments. When life slows down, that's the most beautiful moments. And their significant others, and Allie and Sarah's boyfriend Will, they can sit down and they love those moments. And we love them. We got another son, he's the same way. He loves those moments. He loves being with us. But then when it's time to go get into something, he's going to go get into something. He's an adventurer. That's who he is. And even though we got to deal with it, we tell our kids, don't apologize. Find where you fit, because when you find what works for you and you're comfortable with it, that's when that's when your life will take off. Man, don't. You do you. You do you. Because when you're fine with who you are, you won't find where you fit until you're fine with who you are. Man, I got some people, you love back-breaking work, man. You love breaking a sweat. You are a labor person. You like to work with your hands. You like to work with your hands. That's fine. I don't. And I don't feel bad about it. For years, I felt like less of a man. I worked just as hard as every one of you. The difference is I found where I fit, and that's not it. I promise you, every one of you, there's times in the week you are sound asleep, and I've been awake for a while trying to work, put the effort in the places that I fit in life. I don't like getting dirty. I do it when I have to. And when I have to do it, I promise you the job ain't going to get done well, but it gets done. I don't even like getting my shoes dirty. Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm like walking there. I'm like, ah. But I found where I fit, and that's where I focus my efforts. Find where you fit. Find where you fit. And don't apologize. Find what works for you. Catafam, you've come into Catalyst. Find where you fit here. Relationships do not happen accidentally. We got people like, I just don't know. I haven't been able to find friendships. They don't happen accidentally. Move groups are happening. Get in there. If you're serving or you join a move group that isn't for you, change it. Listen, let us know if you're serving in a place that it's not where you fit and you're miserable. You will not hurt our feelings. We are a family. Our job is to help you find where you fit. But don't get your feelings hurt about things you haven't talked to us about. We will not get our feelings hurt. You need to find where you fit. Because fulfillment happens when you do. Fulfillment happens when you do. Young couples and all couples, because we got a lot of couples, we got a lot of single people that are starting over. Let me tell you how to learn some lessons. You ready? Angie and I, we're a great team. It's honestly how we fell in love doing ministry together, and we found out we were a good team. We call ourselves the dynamic duo. And we're a great team. By the way, in marriage, great teams don't just happen accidentally. And we get a lot of people joke about us. They say about me and Angie, they say their roles are reversed, and everybody cuts up jokes about me being the girl and her being the guy. I'm not ashamed about it. It works. The dumb thing would be to work something that doesn't work. Man, it's working. Why not? I know my gifts. I know Angie's gifts. I know what she loves about parenting, about family. I know the things she loves, and I know the things I love. And we make decisions accordingly. And we adjust season to season when things change. Young people, your relationships, you better find where you fit and not have to worry about saving, and you won't have to worry about saving your marriage when you're 45 or 50. Or you won't have to be married 3 times by the time you're 50. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, anybody out here just laughing, let me tell you, keep on flying. Keep on flying by the seat of your pants. Keep not talking to your spouse and just having fun and not taking life seriously. Keep not planning, because eventually you're going to not be on the same page because you're not going on the same path. And when one of you or both of you build up enough resentment that either the bridge is burned or you got to work a lot of years to rebuild it, you'll remember me saying, find where you're fit while you're young. Good thing passion will blind you if that's all you got. Man, a lot of you got to be faithful. Seasons suck. You need to be faithful in a sucky season. You know that you're going to have sucky seasons where you have to work sucking jobs. You're going to have sucky seasons where life is stressful, life is sad. Sucky seasons happen, but here's the problem. We try to fit in seasons that we're just supposed to be faithful. We try to fit in seasons that we're just supposed to be faithful. You want to get stuck? Try to fit in a season or an opportunity that you were only supposed to be faithful for a season, but you try to fit yourself in it forever and you're stuck. A person, an opportunity, we are faithful, but we try to fit in places God has just called us to be faithful. Be faithful in this season. Don't get stuck in it. Derek Harper, was a cabinet maker for 20 years. From 12 years old, he started building cabinets. He can do it with the best of them. We didn't get paid here for like a year and a half. This was just how we roll. We did not get a full-time salary for a while after that. But there came a time where Derek had to make a decision that this is where I fit now. I was faithful then, but I'm called to be co-lead pastor here. And he had to make a decision. He had to make a decision that This is where I fit. And he didn't just make a pay cut decision to come here. He made a decision that in that season burnt the bridge of him ever coming back. He burned his plows because he knew I was faithful there, but I fit here. Tom Brady is not the most dynamic quarterback of all time. He is effective because he found where he fit, and that's where he put his effort into. Life and success and significance is not about how much effort you put into it. It's about where you put your effort. Period. John the Baptist was not dynamic, y'all. He was not dynamic. John was John, and that's what made him great. We're walking around timid and insecure, and we walk in a room and we may put on a good show, but we feel like we're nothing because we haven't found where we fit and we are not comfortable with who we are. Man, I'm telling you, I can tick all day up here. I don't care. This is who I am. If you don't like it, you don't have to be here. If you don't want to be in my life, you don't have to be here. And it hurts when people leave, but I'm not stopping because people leave. One last verse. Y'all want it? Jesus says this about John the Baptist. This is straight from Jesus. Y'all ready? It's a principle that I promise you can change your life because it will build confidence and you can keep moving when you know that you're moving for something bigger than you. Matthew chapter 11. Jesus said, for John the Baptist came neither eating or drinking. He's talking about alcohol. He didn't drink alcohol. And they say he has a demon. Said he was weird. He's weird because he doesn't drink. The Son of Man, speaking of Jesus, came eating and drinking. Jesus said, I drink alcohol. And they say, here's a glutton and a wine bibber, or drunkard. I picked a different translation. Drunkard, a friend of sinners and tax collectors. Jesus says, but wisdom, read that with me. Wisdom is proved right by her deeds. Jesus says, they said he was weird for drinking. They said I was weird for not drinking. Here's the principle. Jesus is telling them people aren't going to like you no matter what, but let them not like you for who you are, not who you're trying to be. I'm telling y'all, changed my life. Changed my life. And let me tell you something about Jesus. They killed Jesus on a cross. They killed him on a cross because they didn't like him. And he changed the world being who he was and playing his role. John the Baptist, I don't have time to go into the story, but this ruler didn't like him. Not the ruler, his wife didn't like him. A trifling mama and a trifling wife and a trifling stepdaughter. She gave the Herod a stripper show and he said, I'll give you anything you want. She said, I want John the Baptist's head on a platter. People aren't going to like you either way. Seasons are going to suck either way. Life is going to happen. Tragedy is going to happen. Disappointment is going to happen. But Jesus says, let whatever happens find you facing it the way you were called to face it and where you fit. They're not going to like you either way, but let life and challenge and tragedy find you being comfortable with who you are. Here's my final step. When you are fine with who you are, where you fit, we'll find you. I had some people wondering why you hadn't told me about where he fits, because you don't have to. When you're fine with who you are, where you fit, we'll find you. When you become comfortable with who you are and you don't apologize for the things in life that work for you, you don't have to force anybody else, but this is you. When you find that, the things you enjoy in life, the things that give you energy will begin to surface. And when they surface, you can go after them the way you were called to go after them. You don't have to force a good person to marry. You don't have to force an opportunity. You don't have to force your dreams to happen. You become comfortable with who you are, and I promise you, where you fit will find you. You don't have to go searching for it. And I know there's some people that are like, you think, well, my fit isn't important. There are no such thing as unimportant people. There are no such thing as menial fits and menial humans. We all have a place. We all have a place. And if you think it's small, give it to him anyway, because the Bible is filled with God taking what's small and making it big. 2 examples and I'm done. He took a fish dinner. A fish dinner was given to Jesus and he fed 5,000. The jawbone of a jackass was given to one man, Samson. He killed 1,000 Philistines with one jawbone of a jackass. Man, I know that you may believe you're a jackass. You may have acted like a jackass. You may have, that's the only thing you know is being a jackass. But the only reason why you have acted like it is because you're not comfortable with who you are and you have not found where you fit. And when you do, and when you are faithful to the roles that God called you to play and the gifts God has given you, you will not try to be something you're not. Tom Brady is not the only example. He's just the one I used. You can be one too. Love y'all.
So if y'all are anything like me, kind of like those teenage years, middle school, early high school, those were the years like you're trying to find yourself. And I remember time after time, like looking to the coolest new thing, looking to what the people that I admired were doing, and looking back, like it's so funny because we have teenagers now. Ben and I both have a 7th grader, and I don't know if any of y'all have ever heard of Fortnite, but it has these ridiculous dances that they look like they're having a seizure. Like it's something like that. No joke, there's a couple times Sarah and I have tackled Devin in the middle of our living room and like pinned him down because he looked like he was having a seizure. And I can't figure out why our kids act up. Anyway, it's so funny like to look at these teenagers through the eyes of more of an adult, look at it and say, man, they're like, they chase after these things, and it's things that are here today and gone tomorrow, but we do the same thing even still. Like you don't feel like you're a Pinterest mom. You know, your kids don't have nice little cut up vegetables in their lunch or something. But look, maybe right now you're not called to be a Pinterest mom. Maybe you're supposed to be a Lunchable lady. Like, hey, maybe you're more like Ben and you forget you have 4 kids. You keep saying you have 3. Like maybe this is a season where that Pinterest mom, maybe that's not who you are. Like, look, I see those Instagram sports dads all the time. That's never going to be me. If my kids want to play sports, I'll send them to one of y'all. I enjoy it, but I'm not going to those games. I don't like being hot. I like eating. I like air conditioning. Like I see people there, there's people who are passionate about things like bodybuilding. Steve, Ben was talking about earlier, got them big old biceps. Nope, I want carbs. I don't care about all that. But see, I remember spending so much time looking at other people, trying to figure out who I was, and all I ever did was found out who they were supposed to be. Time after time. And see, here's the thing, I was thinking about it earlier. Every time Jesus called people to something greater, which is what he what he does for you. I'm hungry, guys. No, I'm just kidding. This is what he does for you every single day. Regardless of what you did the night before, regardless of how crappy your afternoon was, you got pissed off at traffic after work, he's still calling you something greater. You were a jerk to your husband, you were a jerk to your wife, you were a jerk to your kids, and it's time for bed. He's still calling you to something greater. And every single time he calls you to something greater, it's never, hey, come find where you fit. Come find a spot. Come figure out where you can be, fit into my category. It's always the same thing. Come follow me. You're not trying to fit in a mold. You follow him just like you are. See, because that's how you find who you're supposed to be. You want to be the best mom you can be, follow him. You want to be the best husband, the best dad you can be, follow him. You want to be the best worker, you want to be the best steward of your finances, you want to be the best person, follow him. And you'll find where you fit. The things that you're passionate about, the things that get you excited, that stuff you fit in. It's not the things that you see other people do and it looks cool or it looks inspiring. I see things all the time where I'm like, I'll catch myself. Y'all do it too? You catch yourself like, man, I wish I could have the energy to do that. I wish I had the patience to do that. I wish I had the whatever to do that. Man, maybe that's not supposed to be you. Find where you fit and live it out. I'm going to pray for us this morning, and we're going to get out of here. God, thank you so much for everybody here. I pray that this is a time where everyone in here finds where they fit, that they don't try to force it, they don't try to make something work that's not supposed to be them, God, that they will feel the desires, the passion, the callings that you put on their heart, and they will follow you with everything they got, and in doing that, they're going to find their spot. In Jesus' name, amen.